To travel hopefully is a better thing than to arrive. So wrote Robert Louis Stevenson, famed author of Treasure Island and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. His point being that the process is often more valuable than the result. This is as true for today's travelers on the Silk Road as it ever was. The human spirit is the Silk Road's constant driving force. And it's today's explorers that are creating a new generation of legends. Milan, Italy's capital of fashion and design. The city's spring-summer fashion week is carnival season in 2013. Wong Shin from Shandong in East China is looking to further advance her career in the modeling business.
我其实觉得自己长得并不漂亮，然后呢，灰溜溜的，所以大家都叫我小灰灰。我的骨子里就是一个普通的女孩子。
Thanks to the marvels of modern engineering, Miss Wong traveled the length of the ancient Silk Road from end to end in just 10 hours. Miss Wong's schedule is dictated by her agency. Every night, she receives a timetable for the next day's events. Besides her modeling, there are numerous interviews to fit in. There's no time for a break. London, New York, Paris, Milan. Fashion models fly between the 4 leading fashion weeks like migratory birds. For the models, the designer is the judge and jury. The designers, in their turn, have to face the even more stringent verdict of the fashion buyers. Roberto Musso will stage his latest show in 2 days' time. Musso is one of Milan's most original designers. His current vision is to bring the luxury fabrics of ancient China to the daily lives of ordinary people.
Couture, anche prêt-à-porter di lusso, è molto usata, perché come dicevo prima è un materiale che esalta le forme femminili, ha una bellissima fluidità, una bella caduta e poi i colori sono molto brillanti, molto belli, quindi per quello è molto interessante.
In the ancient world, the Romans used wool, the Indians cotton, and the Egyptians linen as their primary fabric. It was to take thousands of years for sericulture to be established in Europe. The Greek city of Ephesus was an important port on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean. Its magnificent ruins are still standing today. In 129 BC, it came under the control of the Romans. Scenes from that time are enacted for the tourists. It was in the 1st century BC that the Romans came in contact with silk for the first time. The wealthy immediately fell in love with the soft, smooth, cooling fabric. Silk to them was worth its weight in gold, literally. But apart from the quality and the cost, the ancient Romans knew little of the fabric, its origins, and its production. It's spring alongside the Grand Canal in Zhejiang. Zhu Shaolin is preparing for the sericulture season. Fuzhou in Zhejiang is well known for its silk. Almost everyone here works in the silk industry. Zhu Shaolin used to work in a silk factory. After she gave birth to twins, she started to study sericulture at home.
所以我养蚕不会搞，不会养这个，我不懂得，我自己在家慢慢的一年一年的学的人，一边养蚕一边学，一年一年的过来了，我不会养蚕。
Mrs. Zhu and her husband live with their granddaughter in an old house beside the canal. Built 100 years ago, most of these houses are now empty.
以前我小的时候，店面都在这里的，这里人很多的。
Locally produced silk is called Hu silk. In 1851, Hu silk won a gold medal at the Grand Exhibition in London. In the 1860s, London had a Hu silk exchange, and Shanghai newspapers published its prices daily. The world's earliest silk fabrics, dating back 4,700 years ago, were unearthed in Fuzhou. April on the canal banks is still cold and windy. Plastic sheeting is used to insulate a warm room in which the silkworm eggs can hatch. Mrs. Zhu has 3 children. Her eldest daughter works in the city. The twins are at university. Her family is not well off. Nanjing is the 2nd largest city in East China. Between the 3rd and 6th centuries, it was the largest city in the world. Born in the countryside, Jia Yilei and Yan Feng now work in the Nanjing Brocade Museum. Today is the last day of the month. They arrive for work earlier than usual. Yunjin, or cloud brocade, originated in Nanjing over 1,500 years ago. The complex loom with its elaborate programs is comparable to a computer. The weaver can make the same patterns in numerous colors. For a whole month, they have been working at the back of the brocade. Now they can check the front. Their worst fear has been confirmed. There is a missing strand of thread in one section. Although the thread is only 0.05 millimeters thick, the defect affects the quality of the product. Hopefully there's a solution. The Silk Road crosses mountains, grasslands, and deserts to connect the eastern and western ends of the Eurasian continent. It has long trafficked in goods of great value, the most famous of which gives its name to the route. And it's one which demands single-minded pursuit. In Anhui's Jing County, another ancient technology has been preserved. Paper making was another Chinese invention that changed the world. Hemp paper appeared in China in the 2nd century BC. Although its secret was not preserved as long as that of silk, it still took another 1,000 years to reach Europe. Chung Young likes basketball and is a fan of Michael Jordan and Yao Ming. After high school, many of his contemporaries left for the city. He chose to stay. Chung Young's father runs a family paper mill. Its annual revenue can exceed 1 million yuan. His father hopes that Chung will take over the family business. Late rice is harvested in October. Its straw has especially long fibers, which makes it perfect for producing top-quality rice paper. Paper making has its origin in silk reeling. By the 2nd century AD, paper started to become the main writing material in China. Rice paper was first made in the Tang Dynasty. It's ideal for Chinese ink painting. It can only be produced by hand. Making rice paper involves over 100 steps, the most difficult of which requires 4 years to master. Mr. Chung's father wants his son to master all steps before he turns 30. Right now, Chung Young can only do some of them. Wet paper is posted on the wall to dry. It looks easy enough, but Chung Young hasn't yet got the hang of it. Obviously, he still has a long way to go. Chinese technologies, like paper and silk, changed the world. Between the 13th and 15th centuries, paper making and printing spread to Italy. Some scholars think that these two great inventions were key to instigating the Renaissance. It may be a long way from China to Italy, but thanks to the Silk Road, the two countries are no strangers to each other. Miss Wong is looking for opportunities in Milan. She needs recognition by a Western audience.
Look at this. It's crazy how she invents, you know?
Yeah.
Good, really good.
Thank you for your work.
Good to you.
你可能面对的就是，穿上高跟鞋，给他一张卡，用你最好的状态走给他，然后换来一句 Thank you。没有机会或者没有那个时间去沮丧和沉沦，因为你需要赶时间到下一个面试，你就要背上包，赶紧去找下一个机会。
At the same time, fashion designer Roberto is waiting to audition models for his show. During Fashion Week, professional models swarm into Milan from everywhere. Competition is tough. Too many candidates want this job. Roberto's task is to use his critical eye to eliminate those who don't make the cut.
Thank you. Ciao.
15 years old.
Thank you. Ciao, Thank you for being here.
Grazie. Ciao.
Thank you. Ciao, Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Good evening.
Tutti i lavori sono un po' crudeli, competitivi, no? Specialmente oggi tutti vogliono fare business. Io non sento questo problema. Io sono molto rilassato, faccio il mio lavoro.
他所有的都是不会当场告诉你结果，他会在所有模特看完的时候，如果有喜欢你的人，希望你去试衣服，他会告诉你的公司。其实命中率是很小的，因为不是所有的秀都需要亚洲面孔。
Roberto is a native of Milan. His mother ran a boutique, so in a sense, he grew up in the fashion world. After finishing college in Paris, he decided to start his own business.
E anche un modo di essere, secondo me, oggi si parla molto del fatto che per i giovani è difficile, c'è disoccupazione, non c'è lavoro, no? La società non dà possibilità, ma manca anche l'iniziativa personale, non si parla mai di questo. Allora ci vuole anche qualcuno che rompa un po' gli schemi, che sia bravo a inventarsi qualcosa.
Only 12 years after setting up his own label, Roberto has met the strict criteria of the Fashion Week jury and is debuting his collection along with big-name designers. It's a golden opportunity. To showcase the work, a model's look and performance are key. Among his preferred candidates' photos, we see a familiar face, Lala Wang, aka Wong Shin. Wong Shin came to Dubai from Shenyang in northeast China in 2008. He's working on his fourth short film. He feels lucky to have found like-minded friends in Dubai. Wong Shin wants to shoot a short film called Dubai Dreams. It's about young people chasing their dreams in Dubai, not unlike the lives of him and his younger partners. Wong Shin studied music in China. Unable to find a suitable job, he took his cousin's advice and came to Dubai. His day job is to photograph food for a local magazine. He makes films as a hobby to express himself.
我来迪拜啊，4年多了吧，快5年了。来迪拜这边去算是闯一闯吧。对钱来说，我一直把它看得不是很重，主要是一种。
mulberry trees are budding. In a few days, silkworm larvae will hatch and eat these fresh leaves. According to custom, the baby silkworms must have the second leaf of a branch for their first meal. Fuzhou remains an important silk production center in China. Silkworm eggs are freely distributed by a specialized research institution. On April 30th, the village head distributes the eggs he brought back overnight. The women get up early to wait for them. For good luck, Mrs. Ju uses a piece of red paper to carry the eggs. Silkworm eggs are each a tiny, tiny seed of life. This is a solemn moment, a solemn ceremony. The greatest fear is a sudden rain which brings the temperature crashing down. If not kept adequately warm, the hatching eggs will die within 3 days. The secret of silkworm eggs was one of the longest kept secrets in the world. By the 6th century, the Romans had known silk for 700 years, but still had no idea how to produce it themselves. It cost a lot of gold to buy all the silk they wanted. This is Hagia Sophia in Istanbul. It's said that one day in the 6th century, 2 monks arrived to see the Byzantine emperor. They brought from China the most precious secret of the Silk Road, silkworm eggs. Istanbul, where Europe meets Asia, is still the intersecting place for Eastern and Western goods and cultures. Silk technology spread to Byzantium in the 6th century. It still took another 700 years to reach Italy. Today, silk is no longer a mystery. However, the brocade loom remains the world's most complex hand loom. Its jacquard brocade technology still can't be replaced by modern machines.
这个织机呢，就是正在复制的了，就是太平天国的天王的一个袍子，这也是给太平天国博物馆复制的。
Zhou Shuangxi is an expert on this type of brocade. Trained in its traditional techniques, he supervises the replication of ancient silk products.
龙袍的织造难度呢，就是要求这个工人的织造技术高，因为它一年里面春夏秋冬，它的张力都不一样的。那么你织的时候就不能有任何的差错。那过去呢，它织完了以后，它都要署名在上面，就是某某某机户织造，啊某某某机户织造。那么织完了以后，出现问题能找到，要能找到。
A loom like this is operated by 2 people. Most loom partners are also life partners. Jia Yi and Yan Feng are the fastest weavers in the museum workshop. But even they can only make a few centimeters per day. Unlike machine production, every handmade product is unique. Any mistakes made on a loom need to be corrected. Any defects may impact the weaver's monthly income. The making of real brocade is a throwback to another age. At its peak during the Qing dynasty, Nanjing had 30,000 looms and over 300,000 workers. Today, there are fewer than 50 skilled weavers. Brocade is a superfluous luxury. However, the mere excellence in skills and artistry it represents is reason enough to try to preserve it. After 3 days, the silkworm eggs hatch. Less than 1 millimeter long, these baby silkworms are the heirs of a species that changed human history, Bombyx muri, the domesticated silk moth. For Zhu Shaolin, raising silkworms is an important part of her living. The 3 days of the May Day holiday are a festive time in the Zhu family. After long absences, her children come back home. Mrs. Zhu prepares a special meal to celebrate the reunion. One of the twins in college brings back an exciting novelty, a computer game called Plants vs. Zombies.
炸弹都没有。
炸了不要了。那这个蘑菇为什么放在这里？搞快了噻，来不及。呀，
好了好了，开饭。
开饭啦！我们家这个钱，1分钱不舍得用的呀。红菜我们都是一般不买的。我那个这钱都是花在儿子女儿身上，让他们上学呀。一届届的都上去了哇，你又出头吃了呀。
Ancient China had an advanced agricultural society. Sichuan was one of the first places where sericulture, the raising of silkworms, began. Qianglai, on the southwest of the Chengdu Plain, has a damp climate that's perfect for mulberry trees. Shuikou is an ancient town. 100 years ago, sericulture was the main industry here. In those days, one family could produce 3 or 4 bundles of raw silk, with each bundle being worth the equivalent of 300 kilograms of rice. Chen Zaifu is a master sericulturist. His silkworms have reached their rapid growth stage. Collecting all the mulberry leaves they need is hard work. His daughter has come back from college in the city to help out. With China's huge climatic range, the seasons differ from place to place. Mr. Chen's silkworms have quietly started to make their cocoons. Como, 40 kilometers north of Milan, is at the heart of Europe's silk textile industry. The Italians have developed the best silk printing and dyeing techniques that are so crucial for maintaining silk's high-end look. This office is a nerve center for operations. By the 13th century, silk making had finally spread to Italy. They no longer make their own silk, importing the raw silk from China instead. But they have retained their sophisticated processing techniques. "2,000 years on, and silk still has a significant role on the Silk Road. Wong Shin shows off silk fashions in Italy. Zhu Shaolin raises the worms. Jia and Yan are daily weaving their lives in silk. Silk still journeys from east to west, where Roberto is building his fashion empire with silk. It's raining in Milan, and Wong Shin has a problem. She has relatively small feet. She previously hurt herself when wearing shoes that were too large, and this cost her work.
走了一趟下来，脚就都破了，然后我都没发现在流血，然后我再走的时候，我就发现就是完全就是走不了了，腿疼。
She faces similar situations in almost every show.
能演的我一定会演，我有上一集有这样做过，沾502的胶水。 然后走完之后，整个脚都破了，就全是皮。但是我很开心，因为走了那场秀。
好晕了。Wong Shin has been a professional model for 4 years. In this highly competitive environment, she has learned how to cope with everything life throws at her. At the weekend, Dor, a friend studying in Milan, comes to see her.
因为我是天蝎座，所以我就特别愿意去奋斗。
Roberto's show is tomorrow. The models he selected come to try on the clothes. It's their first and last rehearsal.
Siano vestibili, rendono la donna magari più bella, siano diverse da altri, ma è chiaro che chi fa questo lavoro deve avere questa sensibilità, no?
Although the show is tomorrow, Roberto is still unsure about some of the models and wants to make changes. Wong is on her way to Roberto's studio. She is the only East Asian among the models he selected.
More paper?
Yeah. Anyway, I have some double steak.
The double stick with you?
Yeah.
Well, you know already.
Yeah, I know I'm small feet, so I take it everywhere.
Clever. È molto elegante, ha molta classe, mi piace il suo portamento, mi piace il suo sguardo, e quindi io sono molto felice di lavorare con lei.
好多模特，包括我们都走向国际，从10年开始到现在，我知道的可能就有好多几十个吧。随着这2年中国市场变得越来越大，他们更可能需要在时装周发布期间呢，让亚洲人或中国人看到穿在亚洲人身上是什么样子的。See you tomorrow. Tomorrow.
8:30.
Okay, 8:30 p.m.
水了，
弄到我头上了。
你看这张特别棒，你只要点一个点。
像模特这个行业的话，不是很多人都知道该怎么去走这条路，然后爸爸妈妈也没办法教你，因为他们也不知道。
美呀，好美呀！
你一定要不断地告诉自己，我很棒，即使一天下来10几个面试，没有人理你，那你也要告诉自己，我是最棒的那个，不然的话真的坚持不下来。
咱们走吧。
The river here forms part of a 1,000-year-old Grand Canal, which runs from Hangzhou to Beijing. Digung village on its banks is no less old. The cocoons are ready. This is the major event of the year. Relatives come down from the city to offer a hand.
雪白的就是很标准的。
Silkworms can be hatched and raised in 3 seasons out of 4 here. The spring brood are the best, producing the strongest silk. Thanks to these dyed-in-the-wool sericulturists, the country's ancient tradition lives on. Mrs. Ju receives her payment for a month's work. In Sichuan, Chen Saifu's cocoons are also ready. The sericulturists here deliver the cocoons to the silk factories direct. The threads will be spun, packed, and sent to Italy, starting and ending its journey, as it might have done in the Tang Dynasty. For thousands of years, silk served as a currency on the Silk Road. It was bartered for horses or peace with restless tribes. Within China, it could be used to pay taxes and tribute, salaries, or inducements. From first discovering silk to mastering its techniques, took the Italians 1,300 years. Today, the Italians are the masters of silk. Italian silk products are the epitome of high-status luxury goods worldwide. It's the morning rush hour in Nanjing. Like other fast-growing cities in the world, many people come here to pursue their dreams. Nanjing has a population of 8 million, of whom 2 million have come from elsewhere in China. Jia Yilei and Yan Feng have come from Huai'an in Jiangsu. They've worked here for 5 years. Most of the brocade here is handmade to the highest quality standards. Yan Feng nervously awaits the inspection of their work. The weaver's income depends on their monthly production. If there is an issue over quality, their salaries may be reduced. Last year, the couple came top in the annual performance review. This year, they want to do it again. The quality inspector has very sharp eyes. In the end, it's decided that the fault is not theirs. With work out of the way, they can relax and enjoy their day. Their combined income is about 6,000 yuan a month. They're saving to buy a house in their hometown. In Dubai, Wong Shin and friends have formed a band. They're rehearsing one of Huang's own songs, Dubai Day by Day.
09年的年初，就开始了这样一些起初并不专业的演出，但是这些演出对我们个人来说是发挥我们个人的一些力量吧，可以让我们在迪拜还算有点用处。
6,000 kilometers away, Roberto Musso's show is about to start. Wong Shin still has worries about her feet and her shoes, but she won't be deterred. She's a long way from that inexperienced girl of 4 years ago who just left home for the first time. Today she works all the major fashion weeks as one of the world's top models.
我现在的演出费比起我刚来北京的时候，有翻50倍、100倍吗？好像没有，那个时候很便宜，那时候300、500块钱一场秀吧。就是所有事情都好像老天给我安排好的，让我一步一步走到现在。
Beh, la sfilata è una grande emozione, certo, è la cosa più bella, è la fine di un lavoro di mesi, è mettere in campo il tuo sogno, ha tante cose, no? Certo è molto emozionante.
Night falls and the curtain rises. The models will only be on stage for about 10 minutes in total. Roberto has been working all year for this moment. For Wong, it has been a 4-year learning curve.
我每天都在想，我要是今天腿不好了，我要是突然没有工作了，那我明天该干点什么呢？所以我其实是一个危机感很重的人。但是我觉得，我现在有这个条件去享受不同的生活，不像我妈妈一样每天都在那儿上班，然后千篇一律，我也觉得挺好的。
In Fuzhou, the silkworm season has passed. Mrs. Ju keeps a few cocoons to make a new quilt for her daughter. Although she hopes her children can study hard and have a better life, she doesn't want change for herself. She likes things just the way they are. Jia and Yen are starting on a new project. They will weave their future together on this antique loom. One plant, one animal, and one discovery that drove men to the ends of the earth. At any given moment, there are many embarking on such life-changing journeys. The two poles of the Silk Road are no longer in the east and the west. They are the distance between a mulberry leaf and a vision of beauty in shimmering fabric, between a dream and a dream come true. Zhu Qian, a chess grandmaster, arrived in the country of the Arabian Nights along the Silk Road.
突然就有一个念头说，我是会埋在这边吗？
During the journey, people's lives are more or less transformed. Join us for part 7 of the Silk Road. The journey goes on.